escaping with ET. While I am escaping with ET.
G'day and welcome to the show. Well, this week I'm up in Arnhem Land, staying at Dhipirri Lodge. It's an exciting destination packed full of exciting sport fish. Today's target species, the mighty Barramundi.
It's a wild Arnhem Land adventure with Barra by the boatload and crocs for company all round as we explore some of the most remote top-end rivers I've ever fished. And further south, I'm still in the bush chasing that other great little down-under slugger, the Aussie bass.
Beautiful fish, we'll put him back in. If you're looking to visit or travel across the top end, Air North is the airline to fly with. Whether it's Broome in the west, Darwin or Cairns in the east, Air North will get you started on a great holiday.
I'm flying from Darwin to Milingimbi, and I couldn't hope for a smoother start to my Arnhem Land adventure. But I'm already dreaming Barramundi. I remember many great trips to the top end on the hunt for the elusive meatery.
Oh, the meatery,
Will I have the same luck this time? The remote rivers of Arnhem Land are completely new territory to me, and I wonder what they have in store. But I've still got a long way to go before I get to Dhipirri Lodge. From Milingimbi, it's another flight to Dhipirri, and this is where the adventure really begins.
Well, it's early morning here at Dhipirri Lodge up in Arnhem Land, and you can't do this at home. We're getting towed along a dirt track all the way to the boat ramp.
And there are no worries about queuing up for this boat ramp. Dhipirri Lodge has exclusive rights from the Arnhem Land owners to bring fishers from outside to this almost untouched wilderness. Lodge owner Darren is a well-known top-end Barra guide, and with my territory mate Chris Erity also on board, I'm looking forward to a great fishing trip. Working the Arnhem Land coast between the Glide and Woollen rivers, as well as the rivers themselves and the creeks that feed them, we also have the advantage of neap tides, giving us less tidal run to deal with and more consistently clear water to fish in. And the results show, almost from the very first cast.
Oh, beautiful. How good does he look? Where did he come off? Nice.
Bad little fish, mate.
Woo!
There one start today. Pretty good, mate, eh?
Good way to start.
Oh, on again.
His yellow tail gave him away. Looks pretty similar to the last one now.
Same size.
His twin brother, I think.
How good's that though, to be able to sight cast?
Oh, he's a tad bigger, this one, mate.
And we're already losing count of the catches.
How many's out off that rock, Chris?
I reckon that's about number 6 just off that one rock there. Yeah, it's a spot they just sit on their way.
Yeah, that's nice, mate. Woohoo!
Yeah, good
Nice.
on the flats to see
Nice.
one like that coming in.
Absolutely, just to see how
Oh,
clear
look
it
at
is.
it. Porpoise out.
Yeah, baby. That's a cracker.
Better.
Yeah, that's better fish. Well done, Chris.
I'm happy with that one.
That's great, mate.
When he first hit, just the porpoising out. A low 80.
He's a long fish.
Just down there,
86, that's a beauty. That's great.
That's him. Nice fish.
Oh, they're good when they get up to that 80 size, yeah. That is what it's all about. And at some stage in the near future, over the months ahead, as it gets into the wet, this fish will be a breeding fish. Good stuff. It's a nice one. Nice one to match your one, Chris.
My lure twice.
I know.
And then he came back a third time.
Ah.
How hungry they are. Oh, he's a ripper.
Yeah, it's a good fish. Might have to get a picture of that. Oh, you got him? Yep. You get a shot of us too. Do you want to hop up here, Darren, and I'll get a shot with... You all right?
Knees working.
Knees working. Not super long, but... Oh!
Oh, he's about 82.
Oh, yeah, 82, I reckon, absolutely. Yeah, that was the quickest measure I've ever seen in my life.
Sorry, mate.
Well done, well done. No, that's all good, mate. A long way south of Dhipirri, the fishing's still good. This is the home of Australian bass. We're up on the mid-north coast of New South Wales. We can catch these bass all the way through into Queensland, and some of the big impoundment bass go well over 3 kilo, which is a massive fish. And they're a beautiful fish to look at. An Australian native, and I certainly love catching them. It's a few hours before sunset, but there's still a little bit of sun on the bank. I've got one of these beautiful little 3-0 rods. Now this is an Ian Miller design rod, beautiful for this stuff, 2 to 5 kilo. I'm using 6-pound braid, and I've got it on this lovely little Stratic 2500, and a little soft plastic on the end. Now you want nice light gear for this sort of fishing. The fish might get over 40 centimetres and they'll give you a bit of a tussle on this line and this gear, but it's worth the challenge, and I think it's really important to always take on a bit of a challenge when you're out fishing.
While I'm enjoying fishing from my Hobie kayak, my cameraman is following the action from our Quintrex cruiseabout. And the crew manning the boat with him aren't about to waste the chance to get in some fishing themselves.
Got one on there.
Very good.
Had me into a log there for a minute. Just pulled him out. How gold they are. But they're really gold.
Nice. Yeah, nice
They're
fish.
beautiful little fish. And we'll get him back in the water. Let him go. Away he goes.
And as he goes off, I'm hooked up. But this fish is going to pack a big surprise for us all.
Beautiful flathead. Quite a nice flatty. Amazing what you find up these fresh, almost brackish sort of river. Got a very light head on there. Oh, and there he goes. I didn't think he'd take long to get that little soft plastic out of his mouth. That's a beautiful flathead up here in the fresh water. You could almost drink this water.
And the water holds no surprises this time.
Not a big fish, but the right species.
Oh, beautiful. He's a nice one, yes.
Little hard-bodied lure. Oh. Come on, buddy. Come and have a swim. Very nice. Well, 1 minute a flathead, next minute a bass. Beautiful. A little hard-bodied lure. Just great country, isn't it? All the lily pads here, they're really well designed, and you can see that ambush colour. You can imagine this fish sitting up against a log down deep underwater. Yep, absolute beauty.
And even more of a beauty back in its rightful environment. As the sunlight drops to the golden light that cameramen and fishermen love, the boys aboard the Quinny strike more gold.
Have a good one on here, Andrew. There we go, just pop him up over the side. Have a lovely bass.
Now it's my turn to be hooked up again, as this session takes on the feeling of a friendly competition. The lone angler on the Hobie versus the crew in the Quintrex.
Got a little deep diver this time. Oh, fish. Good fish.
He's a good one.
Oh,
Have we got a net?
he's a cracker, yeah. We just said put him up there and let's see if you can catch a big stodger.
Yeah, he's a beautiful.
Oh, cracker.
There you
Well
go, you can pull
done.
him out of there.
Oh,
Andrew,
that
there
is-
you go. You
look
can
at
get
that
your
one.
fingers there.
I got that little fella. My little bloke, gosh. And then that monster. That's a gorgeous looking bass. An absolute beauty. And they grow even bigger than that up here. So the great thing about fishing is it's always a challenge and you're always looking to try to catch that next bigger fish. And that's what it's like up here in these pristine conditions. These fish thrive. There's loads of tucker, and as you can see, look at this, so many lily pads. Beautiful fish. We'll put him back in. And that's what I'd call a great finish to a very satisfying afternoon with both the Hobie and the Quintrex. Back up north, in the wide open spaces of remote Arnhem Land and its wild rivers, it's the second day of my Dhipirri Lodge adventure. I'm heading out again with my mate Chris Erity and our Dhipirri guide Darren, ready for anything. Today we'll be travelling along the Arnhem Land coast in the middle of nowhere. We'll be fishing up creeks with crocodiles present, and if a mishap does occur, there'll be no one to contact. So it's always best to take precaution and wear a life jacket. We're heading for another river mouth where the neap tide should provide plenty of clean, clear water for us to fish in. And it's not long before our lures and needle-sharp Gamakatsu hooks are ready to go hunting. But the first strike is not what I was looking for. There's danger out there, and it's on the end of my line, a black-tip shark. These apex predators are a fact of life in the tropics, something you've just got to get used to, or pack up your rod and reel and slink off back home. But the snags here are better news. As you work your way along this whole shoreline, there's a pile more sticks and things, but the fact that this dips in here, the current swings by and you get a bit of a back eddy. And that's where the Barra really like to sit. They're a bit of a lazy fish. It's nice for them just to sit up there, not have to do too much work, and the bait just to swim on by past them. Barra loves structure. Oh, yep. It's the beauty of wearing polarised lenses and these tonics that I've got on. I searched around and there was a log I can see about 10 metres off the bank, just jutting out on a big angle. So I cast past it and just brought it down around the edge and straight underneath it, and this is where the Barra was sitting. It's great fun to hook up with these awesome Aussie sport fish. Look at that big bucket now. Perfect. Good stuff. It's structure, structure everywhere. A Barramundi and Barramundi fisherman's dream. Barramundi. He's taking that little atomic lure. The idea with these lures, this one's a deep diver, so I'm casting, well, that fish came off a little stump just coming out. You can't quite see it, but it comes out about 3 or 4 metres. Cast up beside it, just drove it down, a couple little jiggles there, and a Barra came straight out from underneath and clobbered it. And that's the good fun about Barra fishing. They're a real ambush predator, so they sit in amongst all the snags, and that's where you've got to get your casts. And that's why we tend to use the overhead bait cast reels. But no matter how accurate your cast, you can't always guarantee it'll be a Barra that attacks your lure. Oh, big long tom.
Long tom.
Quick, they're like a mini marlin. Oh. All right. Well done.
Oh, he'd be better. Big 60.
Oh, it's away. A little bit deeper. Oh. Great sport fish.
Lazy, aren't they? Just
They are, yeah.
another foot down.
That's it. Swap from one lure, which was up near the surface, to this little bloke who goes down probably another 3 foot. Oh, the jumping barramundi. That's what we love about them. Great fighting, good eating, just great fun to catch.
You get another, you want a bigger.
Look, he'd eat it. All that barra action in this pristine, barely fished environment. And when you've had your fill of fishing for the day, it's followed up by a smooth cruise along the wild waters where your boat could be the only one for miles around as you head home for a chef-cooked meal. I know, I'm at Dhipirri Lodge, but I think I'm in heaven. The Australian community is interested in knowing the food they buy is sustainably produced. In collaboration with government fisheries research agencies in all Australian jurisdictions, the Fisheries Research and Development Corporation commissioned the national status of key Australian fish stock reports. These reports bring together available biological catch and effort information to determine the status of Australia's key wild catch fish stocks against a nationally agreed reporting framework and provide a resource to inform the general public, policymakers and industry on the sustainability of stocks of our commercially and recreational important species. They also highlight areas that need further work for management, industry and researchers. You can easily access this treasure trove of robust scientific information at fish.gov.au. And right here, right now, with our featured species of the week. The Barramundi, Latus calcarifa, is found in coastal waters and estuaries from north of Hervey Bay in Queensland all the way around to Western Australia's Kimberley coast. Wild barra live to 35 years of age and grow to a maximum of 150 centimetres. Separate biological stocks of barramundi exist right across northern Australia. Measured across 2 management units in Western Australia and the Northern Territory and 7 biological stocks around Queensland, Australia's barra are reported as sustainable. Wild-caught barramundi is an important table fish in Australia. Our national commercial catch added up to 1,582 tonnes in the 2012-13 year, while estimates of the most recent recreational catch are as high as 345 tonne. For information on cooking and eating the mighty barra, go to fishfiles.com.au. It's another FRDC website with a wealth of information. Did you know that barramundi has only 0.9 grams of fat per 100 grams? And great recipes like this crispy skin barramundi with lemon myrtle dressing. Australia's fisheries are among the best managed in the world. However, we can't rest on our laurels and past performance. Fish stocks are constantly changing and require ongoing monitoring. You can keep up with the current facts in the National Status of Key Australian Fish Stocks reports anytime you wish, just by clicking on fish.gov.au. Well, I hope you enjoyed my fishing video. If you did, make sure you like it and comment below. If you're new to this channel, subscribe and tell a friend, and make sure you press the notification bell so you're notified of our next video.